Welcome to our 2022 Clipper 18 DBU. Starting right in your back bumper here, just gonna reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're gonna find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears in the adapter here. It's helping hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things that bit fresher. Cap just presses back into place. In this corner, as well as each corner of the trailer, you're going to find these stabilizer jacks. All they do is run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and that'll get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see you got in the unit right now, just to keep things firm while you're out camping. Just step forward and get your sewer system. That cap here, if you just kind of press on it and give it a turn, it will pop out of there. Okay. And you can see it's got the same two ears on it that your sewer hose had. That'll attach the same way where you're just pressing it in, giving it the turn until it clicks into place.
Noah, you have a call on part 1, please. Noah, you have a call on part 1.
On the left, you have a gray valve. Gray valve is controlling your gray tank. Gray tank is filled from your sinks as well as your showers. Typically going to be your cleanest water. We'll dump that last. Black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filled from your toilet. Of course, going to be your dirtiest water, so we'll dump that first just to, let that gray water kind of flush out your sewer hose. Right up from there, you're gonna find these two water lines. Those are low point drains. The purpose of those is just to drain out your water lines. So the reason you want to do that is if you're just leaving the unit for a while, you don't want your water going stale or stagnant. You can drain it out before you leave. Or before winterizing the unit, you just want to get the water out before pumping antifreeze through. Up from there, you'll find a cable and satellite inlet. Coax cables plug into the respective ports, fire up at your TV location. Up above that's your power inlet. So as you pop that on open, you're gonna find that little notch in the bottom corner here. It's gonna line up with that notch there. Press those in together, and a little 1/8 turn will lock it into place. Then you get the threaded collar in the back there to really lock it down. Following the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end. Most campsites will have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter. So if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Your fridge service port's right back here, really just for venting otherwise. Right down here you get the exhaust for your furnace. So if you're ever running your furnace, you just make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Straight up from there, you got your stove vent. So you just make sure this flap here is opened up so that our fan inside can evacuate any sort of fumes from our stove. When you're traveling, just press it back into place until it clicks, and then that'll prevent any dust from kicking up in there. City water connection on the right. Your water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Right beside it's your fresh water inlet. Just kind of unscrew that cap and your water hose will stick into there, turn on the water, and it fills up the fresh water tank. Underneath all that, we get your freshwater drain. So you get this little plug right there, you just unscrew that, allows the freshwater tank to drain itself out. One into your storage compartment here, just get that little finger on the left side there, holds it open. Inside of this compartment, you're gonna find your water hose. Inside of that water hose, you'll find your park adapter, 30 amp cord into there, 15 to a standard outlet. Around front of the unit, you get this black box here. That black box is just housing your battery. As long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back, or your 7-pinch tow vehicle, that battery's charging for you. Your propane tank, standard barbecue style tank. You're just gonna turn that to open it up. And on the other side, we've got a solar panel plug-in. So just a 2-prong plug would plug your solar panel into there, charges your batteries. Other end of your storage compartment, same little finger there holds it open. Inside of here, you'll find this little jack here. That's just for running all of your stabilizers. Just sits right into the end of there. LP quick connect right by the entry door. That is for our griddle that we're going to find right in here. So that guy just swings open, you get your griddle down the bottom, just pull that straight out. Right in the back you're going to find your propane hose for it. So we can just kind of untuck that from where it is and pull it on out. Then we'll come down to our quick connect. Pull that dust cap out of there, push the collar back, insert the hose, and then you can open up that valve. With that valve opened up, you cannot undo that quick connect, so it's just kind of an added safety. Then you can come to the knob here, you're going to press it in, turn it past light, just do that a couple of times, and you can see as it clears the air out, it just fires right up. Once you're done, turn it back down to off, then you let it cool off and store it back away. To disconnect, you're going to close off that valve, undo our quick connect, put that dust cap back in there, and just kind of tuck your hose back away. Again, just making sure that you got your dust cap on there. The griddle is also a grill, so if we just take this griddle top off, you can see you do get the grill top there as well. 120 volt fridge right above it, so as long as you're plugged in, this guy's going for you. Power outlet right beside it. You also get your storage compartment back here. If you got the dog out with you, you can tie him down right back here. In the back of the unit, you get your hot water tank. So you just got that keyway there, you're just gonna line that up and then you can pop it on open. All your controls for turning this down are just inside the unit. Before you turn it on though, you just wanna hit this relief valve right there. As you'd hit that, and if your tank were full, you'd get a little bit of water coming out of there because the unit's winterized right now, it's currently empty. But if you were to get water out, just letting you know it's full, you're safe to fire it up. If you're not getting any water out, there's a chance it's empty. At that point, you just wanna make sure it is full before firing it up. Spare tire back here as well. On the left side, you get your exterior shower. So you got a key just like this guy here. Stick it on in and open her up. Standard 3-foot hose with hot and cold water, standard head. And then straight up top in the center there, you got your pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. Now we'll make our way inside the unit. Your assist handle here just up 90 degrees and falls into place. For the handle here, they are a bit finicky, but if you have issues with it, I find if you just kind of press in the bottom corner there with your thumb and then pull it, it makes it easier. With that door wide open, it does contact your awning arm, so if you're running your awning, you just want to make sure your door's about 90 degrees or so. For the steps though, you do need it wide open. Yellow handle to either side, that'll unlatch it and you can bring them out. There's that little quick pin on either side here, you can just pull that out and that'll allow you to extend or retract your legs just based on your campsite needs. As we come in, first things first, right on the right there we get your fire extinguisher, so that's standard, pull the pin, point and shoot. Over on the other wall here, center right, we've got your light switch, turns on all your interior lights. On the far right we get your awning light, does the strip underneath your awning. Awning itself is on this switch down here. Press and hold extend and that awning will make its way out. Again, you're just going to watch out your doors at 90 degrees. Once that awning's fully extended, we're going to see a little black flap come down as well as the black metal tube. Once you see those, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case the traffic will be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. So there's our flap, and there's the tubes. We'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. So what you can do is come to the front or rear arm, just undo that little knob there, loosen it off, pull that arm straight down and in, tighten that knob back down, and then you can see it changes the pitch of the awning out of the head, allowing water to then run off. Now if you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just make sure these knobs are loosened off and your arm's fully extended, so you're not running the risk of bending of it. And again, just watching that your door's at 90 degrees, press and hold the track and the awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just going to watch to make sure that your fabric's over top the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind, so once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you're going to want to bring it back in just so that you're not running the risk of bending your arms. While we're waiting for that, I'll just point out the little blue lights inside of your speakers. Those do turn on with your awning light. Up center left there is your water pump switch. So as you turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Water heater switch is on the left. As you turn that on, you would get that little red check light there letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that light goes out, the ignition sequence is started. It's going to try that 3 times. If after the 3rd try it hasn't fired up, this light will come on and stay on. At that point, you just turn it off and back on to reset it. Up top is your monitor systems. Battery there, so you can see we're currently C for charging. G would be good, F is fair, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to 1/3, 2/3 and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. TV backers right here, so if you're mounted in a TV, it's going right there. Antenna outlet right in the center here. Turning that antenna on, you just hit that button there, you get that little green light letting you know it is turned on. Cable and satellite outlet beside it, and then your power outlet on the far side there. This switch right here chooses between the microwave or the fireplace, so because we're only on 30 amp service, you can't run both at the same time, so you have this switch here to kind of choose between one or the other. So having it down is going to be your microwave. You can tell just by that little kind of indicator lighting up there. Or you can bring it up, and that'll turn on the fireplace. Power button's on the far right there. Center right, you get that back illumination color. In the center, you have the bottom illumination. Center left, you get low and high, so that's your heat control. Far left, you have your timer, 30 minutes up to 8 hours, 9 hours, 9 hours. Power button there, of course, turn it back off. Audio cables right here are hooked into the stereo, so if you're looking to get kind of surround sound from your TV, you're just going to hook those up. Power button there turns it on. Power button will also get into your settings. Press and hold to turn it off. mode to cycle through all of that. Band you can get through your AM, FM. Zone 1 is inside, Zone 2 is outside. Pretty straightforward after that. Around the front here, you can see we've currently got the dinette set up. Your dinette table just stores in this little closet right here. So you can see it's just a little fold-out table. You get the little travel strap there for it as well. Basically just folds out, set it up as you like it. For the bed, you're going to take your back cushions here, kind of pile them up on the side. And then we can take our travel strap up top here and just undo that and bring it down. You also get these little elastic straps here that you can kind of secure it down with. So if you had it down while traveling, you just want those in place. Then you can see that as your bed. You get your little bit of storage over on the side there. Once you're done, just flipping it back up, locking it back into place, and just setting your cushions back up. Over here we get your emergency exit, so you're just pulling that red tab to get rid of the screen, take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. Blinds throughout the unit, all just kind of sit where you leave them. Simple as that. Furnace control right here, so with that slider all the way over to the left, that's it turned off. As we move it to the right, you'll hear it click. That's it turned on. All the way over to the right, it's going to be max heat. Anywhere in the center there's kind of your temperature selection. Furnace outlet's just right down there, so you do have that one duct that you can kind of turn to choose where you're shooting your air. Once you're done, just slide it all the way over to the left until it clicks, and that's it then turned off. Power outlet, USB outlets. A little bit of closet space here, some storage down below. You'll notice that little handle there, so I believe that your water pump is right behind here, so for winterizing the unit, you get that screw up top as well as in the bottom, and this guy just allows you to kind of have control of that panel since it is back mounted. Over top of your sink, you get a little light there, just in its own center push button, hot and cold water of course, sink cover there as well. A little bit of storage down below, just be mindful of your drains and your water lines. More storage up above. Microwave beside it, pretty standard, just like home. Like we showed you earlier, you do need the switch down for the microwave to turn on. Below the microwave is your range vent, so light on the left, fan on the right. So that's that fan that you want turned on with that flap outside opened up. Bifold cover to the stove, just flips on back. Gonna grab a lighter, turn that knob over to high, get the element with a lighter, which fires right up. I will just mention that the first time you go to use your propane system, especially if you've been away from the unit for a while, it will take a minute to fire up just because it'll have to clear all the air to the propane lines. That's perfectly normal. GFI protected outlet in the back, test on the left, reset in the center, so if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. You'll see a little bit of storage space down here. Your fridge, pretty well automatic. It runs off of 120 volt as well as gas. So your propane there, you got your one power button, automatic after that. If it's got 120 volt power, it's gonna run on that. If 120 is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If that light goes red, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, you'll just press and hold to turn it off. Don't make me a liar now. Press and hold to turn it off. Right, and then just press it again, just turn it back on to reset. You get your fridge in the bottom, and your freezer up top. Down underneath it all on the right side here, you get your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, it sits on the floor. This guy detects it and starts going off just like a smoke detector would. Power converter right here, press it top and center, it'll pop on open. All of your breakers are on the left side. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the middle, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. And all of your fuses are on the right side there. A little bit of storage underneath your bathroom sink here. As well as up above it, you have your hot and cold water and your medicine cabinet. Another GFI protected outlet, works the same as the front. Test on the left, reset in the center. And we'll just point out the closet space again real quick. Into the bunk spaces, they are both identical. You get the little push button light there, USB charging in the back. There is also a little cubby hole right back there. Bunk down under, exactly the same. You get the one little light there. USB charging in the back. And then into the bathroom. The light switch is just right on the left there. Toilet flips on open, your flusher's front and center. Into the shower, you get the standard head and hose. Hot and cold water, of course. A little bit of storage down the side here. This guy right here is just a little chemical sample for your toilet. So after the first few times you use it, you're going to take that whole bottle, pour it down there, and that'll just help break down whatever's in there, keep things smelling a bit nicer. And lastly, we'll go over your smoke detector and your air conditioner. So you'll notice here that there's a temp control knob in the back. It does have both cold and heat. Heat is not going to work. There is no heat strip installed in this air conditioner. We do have a dedicated furnace for heat. So typically you're just going to be leaving that in max cool. You got 2 low fan settings. Those are just moving air around to the low fan. High fan is moving in with the high fan. Low cool is going to be the low fan with cooling coming in now. And then high cool, same idea, but now we're using the high fan. And simple as that. So that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.